Fireside Audio presents The Black, written by Paul E. Cooley, narrated by Joe Hempel. Chapter 1. The waves rocked against the support ship. Thomas Calhoun stood at the aft lookout and watched the slate-colored water. The occasional fin appeared and then turned over. Porpoises or sharks didn't matter to him. He was more interested in the huge storm front the ship had left in its wake. Breaking through the pounding rain and 10-foot swells had left him exhausted and weak-kneed. If he'd stayed in his cabin for the entire trip, it would have been filled with vomit. As it was, he'd only managed to miss the toilet once. After that, however, he'd decided to lose his lunch topside. Better to feed the fish than stink up his cabin. If he'd known the support ship was going to bounce around so much, he would have tried to find another way to the rig. A helicopter couldn't make it out in a single trip. The aircraft had to refuel at sea. That would have cost PPE a lot of coin. He should have forced them to pay for it anyway. So now he was only half a day away from the rig. The storm was behind them, and the air was fresh, except for the smell of diesel. Calhoun was used to it, but that didn't mean he liked it. He was about to spend months on a rig that was going to smell a lot worse. The constant grinding of the engines was nearly soothing. The captain, a horrid little Portuguese man all of 5'4", had expressed displeasure at his being on the deck. Calhoun had argued with the man's broken English over and over again. They finally came to an agreement that he'd stay aft and away from the damn pilot house. At least he didn't have to worry about Catfish's gear. The prototype AUVs and ROVs had been delivered last week. According to the last email the tech had sent, he'd already broken them in and checked their programming. That was at least something. When Petropem Exploration, PPE, hired his team, they'd been more than willing to pony up the cash to use Catfish's new designs, as well as Calhoun's new drilling equipment. That had been part of the deal. Calhoun's team kept the patents and IP, and PPE got a jump on the rest of the industry. A fair deal as far as Calhoun was concerned. Catfish Stanley was his partner in the design and programming of the robots. While other companies were catching up, he and Catfish's designs, control systems, and sensors were the best in the world. Catfish was a whiz kid. Between Calhoun's engineering expertise and the robot technology, PPE had purchased their services at a premium. PPE was trying something new with Leaguer. Instead of bringing in contracting firms to handle mud logging...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?